Kevin Gates stirred up controversy with his remarks about LeBron James' wife, Savannah. His comments crossed a boundary, especially when he mentioned how he didn't like the way Savannah had looked at LeBron. While LeBron's reaction wasn't on par with the dramatic, keep my wife's name out your mouth moment like Will Smith's, it was clear that Gates missed the subtle message. Rather than stepping back, he escalated the situation by attending a Lakers game. The situation fell flat, leaving an air of unease. Some believe Gates made things worse by allegedly flirting with Savannah right there courtside. Savannah has finally issued a response, and we're here to unpack all the drama in today's breakdown. Let's dive right in. The buzzworthy controversy. So what's really going on between Kevin Gates and the James family? It all started back on April 19th, 2025, when Gates hopped on Instagram to unleash his unsolicited opinions about LeBron James' marriage. In a 3-minute video that quickly went viral, Gates made some bold claims about the way Savannah James looks at LeBron during his games. He then chimed in with, "Maybe I noticed something most people don't." Gates went on to say that others had asked him how he'd feel if he had LeBron's level of wealth and fame. His response? "He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but I wouldn't want to switch lives with him." They were like, "Why not? How are you managing to win with a baby?" I responded, "Because I'm not into the way Savannah looks at LeBron. I much prefer how those white women look at him. Like as soon as he steps out, they're all like, wait, did he really just say that?" Gates flat out admitted that he's not a fan of how Savannah gazes at LeBron, saying he favors the way white women ogle the NBA star. But hold on, it gets even wilder. Gates proceeded to compare Savannah's demeanor during LeBron's pre-game rituals, saying her vibe comes off more like a prison warden than a supportive wife. He even went on to claim that LeBron's generous and kind nature was taking a hit due to the alleged lack of admiration from Savannah, adding that, despite all the wealth, he wouldn't want to trade places with LeBron. This wasn't just a passing diss either. In that video, Gates went all in dissecting the James marriage like he was some kind of relationship expert, despite not even being part of their inner circle. The timing raised eyebrows too. He dropped this during the NBA playoffs when everyone's attention was already glued to LeBron and the Lakers. To get why his remarks sparked such a reaction, you have to trace back to LeBron and Savannah's history. These two have been inseparable since their high school days in Akron, dating back to around 2002 when they were just teenagers. Their bond has garnered massive respect in the sports community, with Savannah staying under the radar while standing by LeBron through his intense career, unlike some of the attention-seeking NBA wives out there today. They made it official with a wedding in September 2013, but by then they'd already been together for over 10 years and were parents to 2 kids. Their eldest, LeBron Jr., Bronny, was born in 2004, followed by Bryce Maximus in 2007. Their youngest, a daughter named Juri Nova, came along in 2014. Throughout their entire journey, LeBron and Savannah have been open about their dedication to one another and their family, solidifying their status as relationship goals in the sports world. Savannah isn't just LeBron's wife either. Sis is paving her own way to success. As a businesswoman, she has launched several ventures, including a furniture collection named Home Court, which she debuted with American Signature back in 2018, and a skincare brand called Reframe. She's also deeply committed to making a difference, having founded Women of Our Future, a mentorship initiative aimed at empowering young women and providing prom dresses for Akron High School seniors. With all this in mind, it's not surprising that Gates' remarks stirred up major backlash. Fans and media outlets criticized him heavily, calling his comments inappropriate, sexist, and downright offensive, especially because of the strange comparison he made between Savannah and white female fans, lacing his statement with racial undertones. But who exactly is Kevin Gates, and why is he coming after LeBron and Savannah like this? For anyone unfamiliar, Kevin Jerome Gilliard, better known as Kevin Gates, is a rapper, singer, and businessman born in 1986. He made a name for himself in the hip-hop world with hits like Two Phones and Really Really, along with albums such as Isla and I'm Him. Gates has built a reputation for being unapologetically honest, often finding himself at the center of controversy throughout his career. He has faced criticism for numerous controversies, such as being charged with battery in 2015 after allegedly kicking a female fan at a concert in Lakeland, Florida. Additionally, he served time from 2016 to 2018 for a firearms possession case stemming from an incident in 2013. Outside of his legal troubles, Gates has sparked attention with some shocking personal confessions. In January 2015, he revealed that he had been romantically involved with his cousin from 2006 to 2008, a relationship he only found out about after they had been dating for several months. That same year, he drew backlash over an Instagram post that led people to believe he threw a woman out of his house for not engaging in an inappropriate act involving his dog, a claim he later denied and clarified. His private life has also been under public scrutiny. Gates has been married to Drecka Gates since 2015, but as of April 2025, their relationship seems to be on shaky ground. The couple shares 2 children, Isla Corin and Katza Camille, and they've worked closely together professionally, with Drecka managing his bookings and co-founding their label, Breadwinners Association. However, rumors suggest their marriage might be open or unconventional, with reports of both Kevin and Drecka being romantically involved with other people. Recently, Gates has been linked to other women, including Brittany Renner, whom he was spotted with in April 2025, coinciding with controversial remarks he made about Savannah James. Considering Gates' tendency to speak his mind freely and his ease with unconventional relationship norms, his remarks about LeBron and Savannah might come off as less shocking. However, targeting a prominent couple he doesn't personally know left many questioning his intentions. Some believe Gates was simply seeking attention or trying to spark controversy, while others speculated there might be an underlying issue or conflict. Regardless of his motives, the comments quickly went viral, dominating blogs and sports media within mere hours of being shared. The regal reaction and a habit of controversy. When Gates' video gained traction on April 19, 2025, social media erupted, eagerly awaiting how LeBron would respond. Would he confront Gates outright, or would he opt to dismiss the commotion entirely? The answer came on April 20, 2025, just a day after the contentious video surfaced. LeBron's reaction wasn't direct, but carried weight. A subtle Instagram post featuring two powerful photos. The first photo captured Savannah gazing at him with pure adoration, directly disproving Gates' claims about her being distant. The second image showed the couple on the verge of sharing a kiss, further emphasizing their authentic bond. However, the real fire came from LeBron's caption, "Kings don't bother with the thoughts of peasants." Where are we headed next, Queen? Let's make it happen. Without even mentioning Gates by name, LeBron unmistakably dismissed the rapper as insignificant while honoring his wife with a regal queen title. Now that's top-tier subliminal messaging. The post exploded with love from fans and celebrities alike, as the comments poured in with people applauding LeBron for defending his wife. Actor Paige Kennedy commented, "She gazes at you as if you're the most extraordinary and significant man in her life, because you are. Still, it's refreshing to see how highly attuned you are to everything around you, including the chatter from insignificant voices. Just keep brushing it off. The moon doesn't concern itself with the howls of wolves." Meanwhile, other fans opted for a more straightforward approach, posting remarks like, "I already knew he wasn't going to let that nonsense go unchecked," and "He's definitely labeling Gates as a peasant. Lame, but I'm here for it." The overarching sentiment among LeBron's supporters was one of deep admiration for how he maintained respect while firmly addressing Gates without stooping to a lower level. However, Savannah had her own way of responding and wasn't about to let the situation slide unnoticed. Just after LeBron's post, Savannah subtly clapped back by sharing a snippet from a 2019 Nicki Minaj interview on her Instagram story. In the video, Nicki can be heard saying, "What? Child, Anivice." This phrase, a well-known social media retort to nonsense, was her playful way of laughing off Gates' remarks. The post, dated between April 20th and 21st, 2025, showcased her characteristic humor and relaxed attitude. The reaction was perfectly in line with her usually composed and laid-back public image. Meanwhile, Savannah, who is widely recognized as LeBron's steadfast partner, has generally avoided drama during her time in the public eye, staying focused on her family and philanthropic work. Together, LeBron and Savannah presented a united front in response to Gates' statements, skillfully dismissing his claims without naming him directly or addressing him outright. Their actions subtly reinforced the strength of their relationship, undermining Gates' perspective on their marriage as baseless. What makes Gates' remarks about Savannah particularly troubling, however, is that they appear to reflect a wider history of questionable conduct and attitudes toward women throughout his career. To fully grasp the context of his comments on Savannah James, it's essential to examine Gates' history of controversial behavior and remarks about women. One particularly infamous episode occurred in 2015, when Gates faced a battery charge for kicking a female fan in the chest during a performance in Lakeland, Florida. The incident arose when a fan touched Gates' leg while he was on stage. Instead of having security address the situation, Gates reacted violently, physically lashing out at her. This led to his conviction and a 180-day county jail sentence for assault. He attempted to justify his actions by invoking Florida's Stand Your Ground law, which was a shocking defense given the circumstances. During the legal proceedings, Gates released a track called The Truth, offering his perspective and claiming the fan had repeatedly tugged at his shorts. However, his use of violence was widely condemned, irrespective of what had transpired. The episode set a precedent for the recurring issues in Gates' treatment of women that would follow him throughout his career. His personal life has also been marked by controversy. Back in January 2015, he revealed that he had unknowingly been in a relationship with his cousin between 2006 and 2008, only discovering the family connection several months into their dating. He spoke candidly about this in various interviews, and even alluded to it on his mixtape, Luca Brasi 2. While some admired his transparency, others viewed the situation skeptically, questioning why he felt compelled to share such personal details. Around the same period, Gates found himself under fire for an Instagram post that many interpreted as him kicking a woman out his house for refusing to engage in inappropriate behavior with his dog. Although Gates later clarified that his post had been misunderstood, the incident highlighted his propensity for making controversial remarks about women that many deemed offensive or out of line. Gates' marriage to Drecka Gates, which became official in 2015 after they had been together since roughly 2003, has frequently been a talking point. The couple shares 2 children, Isla Corin and Katza Camille, and has collaborated professionally, with Drecka playing an integral role as his booking manager and co-founding their label, Red Winners Association. However, Gates and Drecka have been upfront about their unconventional relationship dynamic. In a 2016 interview with The Source, the pair disclosed that they both engage with other women, with Gates openly stating that he respects Drecka's freedom to pursue her interests. While open relationships are a private matter between consenting partners, Gates' remarks regarding other women, particularly his controversial comments about Savannah James, often crossed the line from personal choices to outright disrespect. By April 2025, following his statements about Savannah, questions loomed over Gates' marital status, with no official confirmation on whether he and Drecka were still together or had separated, despite persistent rumors and his public appearances with different women. This implies that his own romantic life was far from simple, which might have influenced his perspective on other couples, including his critique of how Savannah interacts with LeBron. Back in 2022, Gates released a track titled Super General, where he addressed Drecka's rumored infidelity and made some outrageous remarks about Beyoncé, saying, "Ain't no disrespect to Jay-Z. Met through Nipsey, that's my 9 Don't know if they into swinging, Beyoncé need to let me hit her, make her pee is all on this DK, respectfully her body shiver." These wildly inappropriate lyrics about another man's wife, particularly someone as highly regarded as Beyoncé, hinted at a continuing pattern of undermining women in committed relationships. When Gates made remarks about Savannah James in April 2025, he was linked publicly to Brittany Renner, with footage depicting them appearing romantically involved. Ironically, Renner was the same woman Gates brought along to a Lakers game on April 22nd, only days after his controversial comments regarding LeBron and Savannah, adding more fuel to the fire. Around that same time in April 2025, a woman named Persia P. took to Instagram, claiming to be Gates' girlfriend and accusing him of lying about being legally separated from Drecka. She expressed her frustration with his public displays alongside Brittany Renner, adamant that, "I would never F.K. with a married man." This individual mentioned that he's legally separated, and that's where it stands. The entire situation seems indicative of a pattern, with Gates involving questionable or possibly dubious relationship habits. Gates was also seen alongside a wellness coach named Jade Ramey, accompanying her to the 2024 BT Awards. While he insisted their connection revolved around wellness, with her assisting him in practices like yoga and stretching, their joint appearances fueled speculation that Gates might be managing relationships with several women despite still being technically married. This tangled web of relationships, combined with Gates' tendency to openly critique others' romantic affairs, highlights a concerning pattern, providing greater context to his remarks about Savannah James. His statements weren't isolated or out of nowhere. They align with a broader trend of troubling views on women, relationships, and boundaries. Against this backdrop, the composed reactions from LeBron and Savannah seem all the more fitting. By electing not to engage directly with Gates' messy remarks, they avoided giving him the extra attention he might have sought, all while maintaining their dignity. Public opinion heavily favored Team James in the aftermath. Social media platforms like X, previously known as Twitter, were inundated with supporters defending LeBron and Savannah, while Gates came under fire for his unwanted and inappropriate commentary. Posts showcasing LeBron's reaction garnered massive attention, with countless users applauding him for standing up for his wife and addressing Gates' initial remarks. The story quickly blew up, with outlets like People E! News, Complex, and Billboard diving into the unfolding controversy. Much of the media coverage cast Gates' comments as inappropriate, while emphasizing the James family's composed and respectful responses. However, not everyone sided with the James family. A closer look at social media conversations revealed mixed opinions, with some actually backing Gates' critique. Certain posts criticized Savannah's appearance, featuring statements like, "I don't get the hype, she just looks like Bronny with a wig," or "I'd take Aisha Curry over her any day." On the other hand, many defended Savannah by acknowledging her decades-long relationship with LeBron, saying things like, "She's been with him 24 years. Of course, she's not going to act like those random groupie-type women." This presented a strong counterpoint to Gates' critique, highlighting that being with someone for 2 decades naturally creates a different dynamic than the fan-like behavior he mentioned. Meanwhile, others targeted Gates directly, resurfacing his controversial past with comments such as, "Isn't this the same Kevin Gates who admitted to dating his cousin?" referencing his 2015 confession about a prior relationship. These responses challenged Gates' credibility, questioning his authority to critique anyone else's relationship. The controversy ignited broader discussions surrounding respect within relationships, racial dynamics, and the intense scrutiny faced by celebrity couples. Gates' specific mention of white women in contrast to Savannah, who is black, introduced a racial dimension to his remarks that many found particularly troubling. Some observers pointed out that this comparison leaned into harmful stereotypes and provoked questions about Gates' own perspective on race and relationships. Just as it seemed the situation might begin to settle, Gates escalated the tension by reacting to the James responses. On April 21st, 2025, he shared another Instagram video that reinforced his original stance. In this post, Gates commented, "The truth hurts, but it heals." Standing firm and refraining from issuing an apology, he added, "Braun, I love you because you might enter." And I already know she was like, "You're gonna let him say that?" As long as you're being celebrated, that's all I care about." By presenting his remarks as rooted in concern for LeBron, Gates attempted to justify his comments. However, most people weren't buying into what he was trying to sell. Gates even pitched himself as a life coach to LeBron, which many interpreted as either sarcasm or outright trolling, given the situation. Instead of diffusing the tension, his follow-up video only added fuel to the fire, making it clear he wasn't backing down from his controversial opinions about James' marriage despite the wave of criticism. But Gates wasn't ready to call it quits on stirring the pot. In a move many considered the height of pettiness, he attended a Lakers playoff game against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Crypto.com Arena on April 22, 2025, just days after his contentious remarks. And this wasn't just any appearance. Gates secured courtside seats, ensuring all eyes were on him. To turn up the buzz even further, he arrived with Brittany Renner as his date, the same person he'd been romantically connected to in recent sightings. Their presence at the game had the crowd buzzing, with many seeing it as Gates purposely trying to rattle LeBron or grab more attention from the controversy. Social media exploded over the stunt, with one user posting, "When I say I'm petty, I mean Kevin Gates courtside a Lakers game after shading LeBron and his wife kinda petty." Some described it as audacious or daring, simultaneously blending criticism with a grudging admiration for Gates' nerve. He later clarified that he held no ill will towards Gates, emphasizing his affection for him. The fallout and larger consequences were intriguing. Following Gates' striking decision to attend the game on April 22, 2025, the public anticipated the feud to escalate further. Yet, unexpectedly, as of April 28, 2025, neither party had issued any news statements or engaged in further interactions regarding the matter. This seemed to signal that the issue had likely fizzled out, with no additional drama beyond the initial social media back and forth and Gates' presence at the game. When reporters attempted to contact spokespeople for both James and Gates, they were met with silence, suggesting that both sides might have opted to leave the situation behind without further public discourse. This choice ultimately steered the controversy out of the spotlight, as public interest naturally gravitated toward other trending stories. For LeBron and Savannah, this resolution was consistent with their usual approach, addressing the matter briefly, stating their position clearly, and avoiding prolonged public entanglements. This method was a testament to their established way of handling public disputes, prioritizing their family and professional lives over being drawn into unnecessary exchanges. The controversy ultimately fading without further escalation can definitely be counted as a win for the James family. By maintaining their composure and steering clear of any publicly messy back and forth with Gates, they successfully deprived him of the chance to exploit the situation for additional attention. This response bolstered their image as professionals who handle matters with grace, even under provocation. On the other hand, the outcome for Gates is likely more complex. Although his comments and subsequent antics brought him significant attention, the largely negative backlash may have tarnished his reputation. That being said, for an artist whose persona thrives on being unapologetically provocative, even bad press may still bolster his identity. Beyond the immediate events, this situation shone a light on some compelling aspects of fame, relationships, and social interaction in the age of social media. Let's explore a few of these broader takeaways. Firstly, the incident underscored the immense pressure faced by celebrity couples, particularly those in the sports world. LeBron and Savannah's long-standing marriage, which has been publicly scrutinized for more than a decade, is often dissected and interpreted by fans, media outlets, and occasional commentary from other public figures like Gates. This level of scrutiny puts unparalleled strain on relationships, which makes the enduring strength of their partnership all the more remarkable. Secondly, the controversy highlighted the dual nature of social media, functioning both as a catalyst for stirring up drama and as a mechanism to quash it. Gates utilized Instagram to broadcast his contentious remarks, instantly reaching millions of followers. In response, LeBron and Savannah turned to the same platform to issue their rebuttals, bypassing traditional media to address their supporters directly. This approach allowed them to take control of their story and influence how the public interpreted the situation. Additionally, the public's reaction offered significant insight into societal attitudes toward relationships and respect. The widespread support for LeBron and Savannah underscored a collective appreciation for long-standing commitment and unity, rejecting Gates' criticism of their bond. Many supporters of Savannah argued that a partner of more than 20 years naturally views their significant other differently than casual admirers or strangers, pushing back against Gates' comparison between Savannah and white women fans. On that note, the controversy also unveiled racial undertones that many found troubling. Gates' specific reference to white women in contrast to Savannah, who is black, brought a racial element into the conversation, one that several critics felt played into harmful stereotypes. This controversy underscored how discussions about relationships in the public often intersect with larger societal themes, such as race and gender dynamics. It also showcased contrasting strategies for managing public disputes. While LeBron and Savannah chose a composed and graceful approach, Gates opted for a more provocative and attention-grabbing stance. These contrasting behaviors were reflective of how each individual manages their public image. LeBron, a global superstar aware of his legacy. Savannah, a reserved individual who steers clear of unnecessary drama. And Gates, a bold personality who thrives on stirring controversy. For LeBron, this situation added to the list of challenges he has faced during his high-profile career. From his polarizing decision broadcast in 2010 to the backlash over his comments on China in 2019, and even his visit to Saudi Arabia in 2023, his journey has been punctuated with public scrutiny. This latest episode illustrated how he has matured in handling such situations, employing a controlled and calculated response. For Savannah, it appeared to provide a rare perspective on how she deals with public scrutiny. Despite being married to one of the world's most prominent athletes, she has managed to keep her life private and steer clear of the limelight. Her decision to respond with humor by using a Nicki Minaj clip demonstrated her knack for dismissing critics with finesse, avoiding an extended feud. Meanwhile, during the height of the controversy, LeBron kept his focus firmly on basketball, playing a key role in helping the Lakers even up their playoff series against the Timberwolves on the same evening Gates was spotted courtside. His ability to maintain professional dedication despite personal distractions underscored LeBron's discipline and exceptional skill in balancing priorities, traits that have sustained his elite performance for years. When it comes to the lasting effects of the situation, they appear to be negligible. The reputations of both LeBron and Savannah remained intact, as did Gates' standing in the hip-hop scene, where he's known for being both polarizing and successful. The James family status as one of the sports world's most admired power couples endured unshaken, while Gates continued to thrive in his controversial yet prosperous career. And with that, we wrap up this video. Be sure to click the cards on your screen for more engaging content like this.